एषा भ्रामिस्थिति पार्थ नैनं प्राप्य विमुह्यति स्थित्वा स्यामन्तकालेऽपि ब्रह्मनिर्वाणमृच्छति.
Esha is this. This state, sthita. Sthita is the state. This state of who? Of that Brahman, Brahmi. Esha sthita Brahmi. Partha is, Bhagavan is addressing Partha. O Partha. Prapya, having obtained, Nainam Vimukhyati. No one is deluded. Having obtained this state of Brahman, O Partha, having obtained the state of Brahman, no one is deluded. Sthitva. Sthitva is being established. Sthittvasya kaman antakalepi. Sthitva is being established. Asya, in this. Even, api is even when antakala, even in the end of your life, in your old age, even if you get established, even if you have not done it. The other day we talked about, how people wait for retirement to get into a spiritual path. Let me do this, after all my responsibilities are over. Vanaprastha is when I should start thinking about it. Till then, let me live. I have so many responsibilities. And then when somebody gets onto it, they say, shoot, I should have done this much earlier in my life. But Bhagavan says, even if you get established right at the end, Antakala, towards the end of your life, in your old age, Mrichati, you attain what? Brahma Nirvana, true identification, true happiness. So the state of Brahman, O Partha, having obtained, no one is deluded. And being established therein, in that state, even at the fag end of life, in old age, one attains true identification, true happiness, realization. It's a beautiful way to finish the chapter, which is what? Which is a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita in the beginning. One thing, I had given this note of caution earlier also. See, one of the things which happens to us when we follow deep religious mindsets, is that there are various interpretations. For us, we need to live our life in the ideal way, in an optimal way. We are not religious about what is there, what is true, what is not true, and so on. For example, here, Brahma Nirvana Mrichati. This has a lot of interpretations based on, what kind of religious leader that we follow. We should not get carried away by that. So some people interpret this as, where we merge on to the Lord, where we become one with the Lord, where we become, like the wave merges to the ocean, we become one with the Lord. Some people interpret it as, where we get to the feet of the Lord. So whether it is Aikyam, whether it is Sharanagati, is it relevant to us right now in our day-to-day life? Remember what God has told us. Karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbuhu ma te sangotsva karmani. While you are doing your duty, don't think about the result. We are all living our life. How does it matter whether we merge into God or we fall at His feet? When it happens, it will be divine anyway. So if we focus on that today, we will get diverted away. That is what Bhagavan cautions. He cautions us. Don't get diverted by the result. So this is, from my side, we should not, lot of people will try to do that. Some people will tell us, we'll merge. Some people will tell us, we'll go Sharanagati. I can do that. Let's just focus on doing. Let's just focus on getting control of our senses, mastering the mind, leading a more calmer, peaceful, effective life, making sense in what we are doing and how we are doing, and whatever is right will happen. And when that happens, we will know. So Eklavya was an accomplished archer, okay, but he was also a very proud, vain, conceited person. Very accomplished, at the same time very conceited. That's the reason Dronacharya, didn't take him as his disciple. So he once challenged Arjuna to a duel. So he got Arjuna, both of them came. He shot his first arrow, bang in center of the target, bullseye. Okay, and it was pretty far. So a fantastic, excellent shot. And then with the second arrow, he split the first arrow. And then he said, Arjuna, you do it. Arjuna did it in a flash. Same thing, equal. Both of them were equal. Then Arjuna says, come, let me offer you a challenge. He takes him to a little bit away towards the cliff. And next to the cliff, there is a huge gorge, there is a deep gorge. And there is a log of wood that is bridging the gap, which is formed by the gorge. And you can see that the log of wood is pretty old. It's a little unstable. Arjuna calmly, serenely walks to the center of the log, picks up his bow, shoots it to a far off tree, middle of the tree, center, bang center, takes another arrow, splits that first arrow into two. And then he invites Eklavya to follow suit. Eklavya goes to the edge, looks down, and forget about shooting arrow. He's trembling. He's not even able to step on the log. So Sri Krishna was watching all of this along with others. He said, Eklavya, you have great control over your bow, with your bow, but little over your mind. That will shoot, or that will let loose the arrow. So we have to control this mind that let looses lots of arrows as we go about our day-to-day life.